Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me for this webinar about working in conveyancing. My name is Nicole and I am part of the community engagement team at New South Wales Fair Trading. If you have ever purchased a house or land, chances are you've engaged the services of a licensed conveyancer, or maybe you're interested in becoming a conveyancer yourself. In this video, I will be taking you through what conveyancing in New South Wales is and what your obligations are under the Conveyancers Licensing Act 2003 and the Conveyancers Licensing Regulation 2021 to ensure you operate within the framework of the law. It is important to point out that the information provided in this video is general in nature and is not to be considered as legal interpretation or legal advice. New South Wales Fair Trading acknowledges the traditional custodians of the lands where we work and live. We celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of New South Wales. We extend that acknowledgement of respect to the custodians for the lands on which you're watching this webinar. Conveyancing is the legal process of transferring property ownership, involving the preparation of sale contract, mortgage, and other key documents. In New South Wales, you need to be a solicitor or hold a conveyancer licence to conduct legal work for buying and selling properties, ensuring all legal obligations are met and the client's rights are protected during the transaction. New South Wales Fair Trading is responsible for regulating conveyancers in New South Wales to ensure that all transactions are conducted fairly and that both buyers and sellers understand their rights and obligations. In this session, we'll provide a brief overview of what conveyancing work involves, but the focus will be on helping you understand your requirements when conducting conveyancing work. We'll also cover licensing information, your compliance obligations, and the legal requirements you need to be aware of. When you are supporting consumers in buying or selling a home, land, or investment property and signing a sales contract, the legal work involved in preparing the sales contract, mortgage, and other related documents is the process of conveyancing. While you can do your own conveyancing, most people engage a licensed conveyancer or solicitor. In New South Wales, conveyancers must hold a conveyancing licence, unless they are a legal practitioner, part of an incorporated legal practice, part of a solicitor corporation, or part of a conveyancing corporation. There are federal and state laws you must follow to run a conveyancing business or carry on work as a conveyancer. The legislation governing licensed conveyancers in New South Wales consists of the Conveyancers Licensing Act 2003 and the Conveyancers Licensing Regulation 2021. The Act sets out the licensing requirements, duties, and the responsibilities of conveyancers working in New South Wales. It also makes sure that anyone offering conveyancing services meets the professional standards when handling property transactions. The Conveyancers Licensing Act sets out the qualification requirements, rules for conducting a conveyancing business, what information needs to be disclosed, compliance obligations, requirements for trust accounts, and provides a framework for addressing disputes and complaints, ensuring that both clients and conveyancers have clear pathways for resolution. The regulation builds on the Act, offering more specific details about the rules of conduct, records requirements, and other operational aspects for conveyancers. New South Wales Fair Trading is the regulator, ensuring licensed conveyancers meet their professional and legal obligations. The legal paperwork when buying or selling property is a process called conveyancing. In New South Wales, if you decide to engage a licensed conveyancer, they must be licensed by New South Wales Fair Trading. Conveyancers can provide the full scope of conveyancing work relating to residential, commercial, and rural properties under a licence, but must always carry out work in accordance with any relevant conditions on their licence. Conveyancers need to be covered by a professional indemnity insurance policy, which has been approved by the Commissioner for New South Wales Fair Trading. Conveyancers also must keep clients' money in a trust account, which will be covered in further detail later. Both conveyancers and solicitors are fully qualified to carry out conveyancing work. Solicitors, like conveyancers, are required to have the appropriate insurance policy to protect a client. Before proceeding with any work, it is important to check the public register at verify.license.nsw.gov.au to ensure that a conveyancer is properly licensed. Property transactions can be different, and the specific requirements will depend on each contract. Conveyancing work can involve reviewing, preparing, and exchanging contracts of sale and mortgage agreements, overseeing the change of title with the New South Wales Land Registry Services, completing any final checks prior to settlement and attending settlement, finding out if any government authority has a vested interest in the land or if any planned development could affect the property, arranging the payment of New South Wales and federal government duties and taxes, checking if there are outstanding arrears or land tax obligations, verifying if swimming pool compliance documentation is needed, calculating settlement adjustments for council and water rates, and arranging building and pest inspections. In some instances, the property and contract requirements may require a conveyancer to examine a strata inspection report or determine when there have been undisclosed issues, such as a fence dispute or illegal building work. While conveyancers can do a lot of work, there are certain works that conveyancers are not authorised to do. Before doing conveyancing work, it is important to know whether you can or can't carry out the work. Here's what work conveyancers can and cannot do. A conveyancer can handle contracts of sale and mortgage agreements, oversee property title transfers, oversee settlements, check for government interests and potential developments affecting the property, assist with arranging finance and managing stamp duty, verify if there are any unpaid arrears or land tax, and if required, examine a strata inspection report. A conveyancer is not authorised to carry out work for the purpose of a non-residential mortgage exceeding $7 million, commencing or maintaining legal proceedings, establishing a corporation or varying the memorandum or articles of association of a corporation, creating, varying, or extinguishing a trust, preparing a testamentary instrument, giving investment or financial advice, or investing money other than in a trust account in accordance with Part 5 of the Act. Even though conveyancers cannot give financial advice, they need to understand the relevant state and federal tax requirements related to any work carried out. For more details on the requirements, you can visit the Revenue New South Wales and Australian Tax Office websites. For a copy of a relevant act or regulation, go to the New South Wales legislation website at www.legislation.nsw.gov.au. For more detailed information on what was presented today, go to the New South Wales Fair Trading website at nsw.gov.au/fair-trading or the Australian Institute of Conveyancers New South Wales Division at www.aicnsw.com.au or call 02 9633 1355. Thank you for listening today, and I hope the information has been useful.